70% of the youth in Gaza are unemployed. So when you add up all the discrete facts that I've just enumerated for you, what do you get? Well, the former British Prime Minister, the conservative Prime Minister, David Cameron, he described Gaza as an open-air prison. Then there's a senior Israeli security official. His name comes up a lot lately as he lays out his maniacal plans for Gaza. His name is Giora, Giora, Island, Eiland. And in 2004, which is to say before the blockade was even imposed on Gaza, in 2004, he described Gaza as a huge concentration camp. So if you look at the spectrum goes from open-air prison to concentration camp. That's Gaza. So when we come to the events of October 7th, we have to bear in mind that those young men who burst the gates of Gaza overwhelmingly, and maybe entirely, they were born into a concentration camp. All they had to do, day in and day out of their existence, was wake up in the morning and pace the perimeter, those 25 miles by 5 miles, pace the perimeter of the concentration camp. That's all they had experienced in their lives. They had no past, they had no present, and as things looked on the eve of October 7th, they had no future. However, that's only half the story. For the reasons of this program, not with me not speaking through eternity, I'll give you the other half very quickly. The other half is periodically Israel goes into Gaza. I can't list all the times because frankly, I've never been able to commit all their operations to memory. Much as they try, the list is too long. But every few years, Israel conducts what it calls an operation in Gaza. What is the operation in Gaza? Israel coined a very happy locution. It's called mowing the lawn in Gaza. Now, my memory is correct, Crystal. You have 3 children.
Correct.
Correct?
Yep,
So Right. So I'd like you to bear in mind, I'm not trying to be emotive. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I also am trying to paint for your listeners a realistic picture of what's been done to those people. Israel mows the lawn in Gaza, and that lawn has 2.3 million blades of grass. That's the population of Gaza. 1/2 of those blades of grass, 1,150,000, are children. And Israel coined, if I dare say, and the listeners can decide for themselves whether I'm being emotive or whether I'm being factual. It coined this satanic phrase, which it repeats on every occasion with a certain amount of humor. It's funny. We're going to mow the grass in Gaza, and everybody smiles. Isn't that a clever, cute expression? I wonder if you would smile, the mother of three, knowing that among those blades of grass that are going to be mowed are the heads and skulls of your children. Operation Cast Lead, 2008, 2009, December 26th to January 17th, Israel killed 1,400 people, 350 of whom were children, demolished 6,300 homes, mowing the grass of Gaza. Then 2012, Operation Pillar of Defense. Then 2014, Operation Protective Edge, 51 days of mowing the lawn. Operation Cast Lead in 2008 to 9, Amnesty International wrote a large report on what happened. It called it 22 days of death and destruction, mowing the lawn in Gaza. 2014, Peter Maurer, the head of the International Committee of the Red Cross, he visited Gaza and he saw what Israel had inflicted. 2,200 people killed, 550 of them children, 18,000 homes vaporized. He came out and he said, now bear in mind, Peter Maurer's job is to visit combat zones. Mm. And he said never in his entire professional life had he seen destruction of the magnitude that was inflicted on Gaza in 2014. So we're told now that the story begins on October 7th. And when a moderator has a guest on, the first point of business is, of course, you have to condemn what happened on October 7th, because that's, we're told, where the story begins. It's as if in a slave uprising, like our own Nat Turner slave uprising, you have to begin the story because Nat Turner and his band of insurgents, they killed a lot of innocent men, women, and children, no question about that, in very brutal ways. But it's as if you have to begin by condemning Nat Turner because of those horrible deeds he had committed, but you're not allowed to mention the fact that, hey, Nat Turner was born a slave. He was born a slave, he lived a slave, and as things looked on the date of his rebellion, he died. He would die a slave. That was his past, present, and future. Is that an irrelevant aspect of the story?
Of course not.